Okay, we're actually restarting the stream because that was the worst possible opening.
Tell me when you open it.
Yeah, this is the start of the stream.
Can I sing this? Can I sing the theme song?
The underground theme song or the theme song to Hero Squad?
Theme song to Hero Squad.
Go for it.
Johnny's like a melody in Switchblade. And I don't know the rest of the lyrics. I just wanted to get that out there.
Lose one willpower. I don't care which character. Just choose.
Okay, that's fair. Thank you. All right, Bill has 1 willpower, so that's not happening.
That'd be the funniest fucking thing.
And
that's how Bill dies.
And that is our recap for last session. Bill has 1 willpower.
No. We had a successful battle too. Bill has 1 willpower, and who's the guy that we fucked up?
Presiding Silence is dead, and the executive defector, aka Prime Minister.
Executive defector has 0 willpower.
He got blown the fuck out possibly harder than any other boss in Hero Squad history.
Really?
Maybe jackknife.
I will be back in 2 minutes while you do the recap.
Yeah, so things that happened last session.
Hey Derek, can you try and do a session recap to the best of your ability?
The best of my ability for last session?
Yes, just try.
Only
make stuff up.
Only from the point of view of mine.
No, just what Derek Becker thinks happened.
Last session, things happened. And I know things happened because I was told that things happened. These things, some of them were good, and some of them were not so good. But no matter what, we know that they did happen. Because if they hadn't happened, then we would not be here talking about them having happened. And therefore, we will continue with the story of the things that have just happened.
Excellent.
Good job, Derek.
That went a lot better than I expected.
Derek gained 1 narrative point.
Yay! I don't know what that does, but I've got it!
It has no rules yet.
Yeah.
It's just there are no rules. Laws are made up. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Okay, so since I forgot to end last session with the Sweet Tooth scene, we're going to cut back to Verbal Kink's bar, where Sweet Tooth and Zach are walking down to Verbal Kink's office. He's gonna take you by the shoulder and go, okay, just full disclosure, I'm going to be a complete asshole when I go in there. It's gonna seem weird, it's gonna seem sudden, but there is an ongoing narrative you weren't really present for. This is just a continuing escalation. Just if you're uncomfortable, just follow my lead, okay?
Oh, that'll be fine. I mean, this is the first time we've met after discussing our consultation, so I think it would make sense if I would know the full narrative. I'll play along.
Got it. Okay.
And I'll give him a wink, like, haha, I know we know what's happening here, kind of thing.
He's gonna smile and go, okay, great. And then he actually kicks the door off its hinges and goes, Kinky Boots! Good to see you, buddy!
I'm sorry, repeat what he called him?
Kinky Boots.
Excellent. Absolutely spectacular.
One of the bodyguards offers him a chair. He kicks it aside, grabs one of the chairs on the side, makes a horrible screeching noise as he drags it across the table to Verbal Kink's side, flips it around youth pastor style, sits down and goes, Andrew, come on over!
Before I come over, I'm going to lean over to the guard, and I'll be like, so I haven't had a consultation with Boots, Kinky Boots before. Could you just tell me, is kicking the chair away proper, or should I just take the chair? I don't know
I am back.
I don't know the proper way to.
You just see like the shifting, glitching features of this man's face, and you just hear a soft breeze as if going through several dead trees in the middle of winter.
I'll take a chair and sit on it. I will not do youth pastor style, though. I'll sit on it like a normal person.
Verbal Kink seems a little bit taken aback, going, and then you see Zach hook his foot around one of the chair's legs and just pull it into Verbal Kink, knocking him onto the chair, going, okay, first things first. Have some consultation for banquets and catering, and you just see Verbal Kink go, Andrew?
Hi. I'm potentially doing all of the catering for his event, and I thought it would be best if I sat in on this meeting.
He just stops, looks confused. When did you two... You're engaged in... and you see Zach just kind of go... we have pressing matters here. My friend's under a contract. Andrew, if you'd like to...
Yeah, vaguely related because this has some potential connections with my work with him with my catering. I was wondering if you had any information about the market, and I'm sorry, I can never remember his name.
Walter G. Hughes?
Hughes? Well, yeah. About the merchant Walter G. Hughes and his organization.
Verbal King is immediately going to get like a lot more put together and professional as soon as you bring that because so the Walter G. Hughes Corporation is actually a protected client under the tenets of information neutrality. I am allowed to provide information about them, but they have a bounty set for any information, which is to say they have paid me a premium to not disclose information without sufficient counter fee. Any piece of information you'd like to learn about them is going to be 50 credits.
Okay. That's unfortunate.
Seems low, honestly.
You see Zach kind of side-eye you. You see him whisper, "How much is this worth to you?"
I'm gonna whisper back, like, I don't have 50 credits.
Zach's gonna think about this for a second. He's gonna wince as if he really doesn't want to fucking do this, and he's gonna slide 50 credits across the table.
Okay.
Verbal King's gonna
There's,
pocket
like-
it and go, "What do you want to know?"
Wait, credits physically exist?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
look like poker chips.
Give me a second. I'm like super thrown by this. That like, sorry. I know I had a question. I completely lost like the question I had.
Okay.
Could we do this at the end of the session?
Yes.
Okay.
So, things that take place during the raid. Just getting the timeline straight. We're gonna check in with the NPCs real fast. Okay, so first things first. We're gonna check in on the pile of metal that is being formed into a portal to summon the Ironmonger. You see the two Ironworks members talking, and then you see like 3 people dressed in gang colors that seem still Iron Legion, but like a different group than the Ironworks, still kind of elite, and they're just kind of lazing around doing nothing. Full disclosure, Jeremy and Animal and Cyborg were the ones sent to take care of them.
Yes.
The first thing you guys see is just an energy beam sniper rifle crash into the head of Metallurgist, the guy working on the portal. You see a spray of blood as the guys kind of scramble, get him into safety. You see several pillars of iron just sprout up and like clusters around the place. Citizens Militia Cyborg is about 16 blocks over. He fired through 4 buildings to get that shot.
Perfect.
And while that panic is going on, they erected a bunch of barriers that created a lot of shadows. You see Jeremy and Animal exploiting their ability to go through darkness via the FOP abilities.
Yep.
And it looks like they're sneaking in to try and finish the job.
Okay.
Stonks, on the other hand, he's clearing out the ships. It looks like his power lets him touch something, and it slowly kind of dissolves into molten metal, like a scar, and starts spawning like these little crab minions.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I keep getting Stonks and the Xylophone guy backwards for some reason.
It happens. It looks like there are three main barriers that very much earlier, the first time you guys visited the flotilla, Mr. President helped set up. And it looks like those have wound up being a significant hindrance for the Iron Legion getting reinforcements in.
Sick.
Stonks has basically touched the three barriers, so as long as his power keeps working, they will eventually dissolve. You see the crabs speeding it up by firing molten artillery shots at them to blow up a little bit. One of the Leviathans is also contributing its artillery. None of his Mark IIIs are helping because he has instructed them to learn about certain plants for some reason. He seemed very upset that they claimed to be doomsday preppers but did not basic survival skills.
Hey.
You mean every doomsday prepper?
So
I got the feeling that Stonks is the only person in the
There's
Iron
some-
Legion who's competent.
I feel like Silence was competent.
Yeah, he was kind of
He
an
seemed
asshole, though. Stonks seems to actually have his head on right to some extent. Silence is the kind of guy who broods alone in his room reading a book and wanking over how smart he is.
that's just Xander.
Yeah, no, I don't get that vibe. I think that's
No,
just
Xander doesn't do it in his room. He does it in public.
Okay. So you actually see Lilac from the Vaqueros just kind of suddenly appear out of nowhere, going, "Hey guys, I see you got the Carmadellis inspectus here. That's actually a pretty good plant for treating wounds." The Mark IIIs are just completely caught off guard with how friendly and nonchalant he's being. He just picks up, goes, "See, this flower here is actually poisonous. You want to avoid this, but the leaves and root can be ground into a fine paste." He's like, "You're going to want to draw this." So again, flower, this is the poison, this is the medicine, and this is the part where it turns into ash. And you just hear the Mark IIIs go, "What do you mean?" As a sun just suddenly appears above him. As Orange summons, "Here comes the sun."
Gotta go listen to that song.
Violet then opens up her cloak, gets Lilac back into it, pulls him back as Stonks is staring at it from a nearby high-rise going, "Okay, we have a problem." The Vaqueros have begun their assault on Stonks.
Perfect.
So, effects from that. Stonks is now going to do a check. better than you, Diogenes. I can fucking read. Jesus
Wow.
Christ, Tom.
Talk about a fucking derail. Wow. I'll be right back.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so Stonks, as he's running for his life and throws himself out of a window 15 stories up, gets on the radio while just completely calm, trying to ping Silence and then the Defector. And then he's going to panic and do basically a reply all saying, Charlie, you actually hear it from the floor above you because you were putting yourself by the Cayman.
Yep.
As soon as he hears that, he at first rewinding about like 6 to 12 seconds. The Cayman is getting like troop loss reports as your guys are, you're making your way through the town. He's having a heart-to-heart with Sal Jr. opens up with sounds like things are going bad for you. Maybe you should, just as seems like he's trying to get him out there. Cayman straight up goes, "Yeah, I should probably get out there, but in all honesty," just straight up says, "I would sacrifice everyone else here for you." And that kind of just fucking floors Sal for a minute. You find out through their conversation that they have a history. like Sal, like the Cayman was best man at Sal's wedding. It sounds like they have like a fucking huge history. So you hear a radio in that, you hear Stonk's radio in that, Silence and the Defector are dead, and you hear a third person radio in, something about a transmuter at these coordinates. At that point, the Cayman goes, he just basically kind of sags a little bit and goes, "I'm very sorry." And after a bit of thinking goes, "I need you to trust me." As he shoves his hand into Sal Jr.'s chest and clenches. Next thing you know, he has stomped once, the ceiling is collapsing, and he is on your floor coming for you.
I'm gonna make eye contact with him, and I was gonna say, well, or wait, no, I'm not Sweet Tooth. It's like, well, I just intended to save him if he tried to pull the trigger.
Do you want to do anything that could potentially stop the Cayman?
I was going to try and speak with the Cayman, because I would much rather talk with him than fight him. I can't fight him.
Your perception is good enough to know that for anyone but a trained doctor, Sal Jr. would look dead right now. You can see that none of his vital organs have actually been ruptured. His heart is still beating. The blood loss can be contained. It's just, he is somehow clinging on to life. It might be like a thing the Caymans once knew, but it might be something endemic to Sal Jr. that the Cayman knew about.
Okay.
What do you have a minute before he, tears in, well, you have a second before he tears into you. What do you say?
So when he's down on my floor, I'm just gonna put my hands up, kind of in front of me, like a stop gesture, not like raised hands, and I'm gonna stop him and I'm gonna say, so, based off what's going on here, I don't want this to be a complete failure for you.
Alright, he's
So-
stopped.
What was that?
He has stopped moving. He's listening.
So, because I know that is bad for you, and we haven't talked much, but what we have, I like you, and just kind of do a shrug in the white person face, I would like to potentially help you out a little bit with this. We had some key targets that were incredibly problematic, which we neutralized. For the most part, we have some personal matters that are dealing with, and other than that, I'm ready to leave. But I think you had stuff to accomplish here that I would still like to help you accomplish. If he has some sort of lie detection, Charlie is not lying. He genuinely means that. That offer was going to be on the table if he needed to stop him from killing Sal Jr.
So, Cayman's going to hear that. Nothing you've said really requires a persuasion roll because it's in line with what he kind of wants. He's going to look at you and go, I still need to reclaim the Forge Heart. The main concern is with Defector and Silence dead, I don't have a way to convince Ironmonger not to show up. And once he shows up, any hope of minimizing bloodshed is done. I need to go out there and try and resolve this before he gets here.
Do you know where it is?
I have a vague idea and a dowsing rod. That should be enough. I need you to take Sal Jr. Or he says Salvador, but...
Yeah. Where do you want me to take him? Does he need healing?
He needs to get to a healer. He'll last for about a day in his current state, though.
I mean, does he need any specific healing? I have, and I'm gonna pull out a healing candy. Like, I can heal.
No. While he's here, have him appear dead. If he appears alive, he'll be a target.
Okay, where do you want me to take him?
Just out of town, as fast as you can.
Yeah, Charlie will pick him up. He can't carry him super well, but he'll just start carrying him out of town. Actually, before he leaves, I'll stop, and I'll just kind of look back at Kaylin and say, I can't fight a Mark III. Is there any sort of protection you can offer me as I leave town, or am I just hoping I don't run into one?
He kind of goes, I don't really have like a talisman. I don't have any way of protecting you.
Okay, that's understandable. But I figured if you did, I would take it.
He nods and goes, okay, I'm going to radio in Sal Jr. is dead. That way at least people will stop looking for him.
Okay.
All right.
I will tell him if he's interested the location I'm going to take him to, and I'll start walking Sal Jr. there. I will be very carefully looking around for any troops to just avoid them.
All right, make a stealth
And
check.
just take.
The Cayman is going to he's going to radio in that Salvador is dead, and he's going to try and order a few troop movements away from the air path you're taking.
Okay. Does that give me any bonus dice, or will that just make the check easier?
It makes the check easier.
Okay. I only have 4 dice. I can't do the spider mud thing, can I? I'm assuming that's not on the table?
No, it's not really on the table in this situation.
Okay. Figured I'd ask. Do I need to spend willpower here? So I'm trying to decide if I need to spend willpower or if I might just be fine because my sense is high enough.
Excuse me, sorry.
I won't spend one willpower. I don't like the number of willpower that puts me at.
Speak for yourself.
That's 4 4s.
All right.
Guess I didn't need to spend that willpower.
I will jot that down. All right. You managed to 4 4s will get you out of the city center at least.
Okay.
You notice that the clouds above are slowly filling with these little iron dragons.
That's not good.
And then you just see a sun appear over a nearby part of the town.
Does that look like oranges?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Gonna cut back to Bill and Blue. There is a crater where the presiding silence in Oslo used to be. Oslo's body is more wet scraps scattered over about 30 feet.
All right. How is Bill holding together?
Barely. The cold iron inflicted wound is closing up incredibly slowly. Blue is mourning loss of her bike, and you see Lug carrying the stalker like a piece of luggage under his arm.
Luggage.
Bill sees Lug approaching and very quickly gestures with as much energy as he can. No, don't bring him too close to Oslo. Don't. And Bill will move down into the crater using his anatomy sense to find as many pieces of Oslo as he can and pick them up.
All right. So when I say Oslo is in pieces, I probably should have specified it's more like a thin paste. The only thing that seems remotely intact is you find a relatively large chunk of heart.
Good.
Partially calcified. The only point of concern is your anatomy sense does point to a single shard of, you're not sure if it's cold iron or normal iron that's dug into it.
Just touch
Either
the
way-
iron, and if it burns, it's cold iron.
Is that true, Sam?
Well, didn't the cold
it
iron burn
burned when
you?
it was impaled into you. You're not sure if it's... your skin's pretty thick. You're not really sure how it interacts.
All right. Bill will. Can I make a determination based on the fact that Bill has seen drowners before? Or sorry, has seen waterlogged before?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, I guess let me roll.
It would be a survival check. Sorry.
Okay. Let me see then. Survival. That's fucking under mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Bill gets 3 10s.
Okay. You notice there's a nasty bit of calcification around the piece of iron.
I don't know if it matters. He has endless survival.
That's pretty good. It doesn't super matter here, but so what happens is, you know that the worst thing that can happen to a waterlogged is desiccation, them drying out. And this calcification, it looks almost like salt spreading out from the wound. You know, with 3 10s, that if you forcibly remove this sliver, you're probably going to, the heart's going to fall apart. This is a timed thing. You need to get him to whatever can resurrect a waterlogged as fast as humanly possible. But even with 3 10s, the method by which waterlogged come back isn't well known. It's never really been studied, and you've never seen it before.
All right. I have a terrible idea. Bill will, while scooping up as much of Oslo as he can, and let me see, what does he have with him? Well, is there any anything he could put Oslo's bits into?
Not unless you have something in your inventory.
I'm looking that up now. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything in the area that he could make use of.
Not really, no.
All right, Bill will. I guess Bill will pull out one of his canteens, drain it. The one that had water in it, drain it, and just start putting as much of Oslo as he can in there. He'll yell out to Lug and Blue, what's the fastest you... Where are we exactly? Where are we compared to Whaler territory?
Several days travel away from Whaler's territory, and that's with a boat.
Lug, how fast could you get there?
He's kind of gonna look at his watch, shake it a little bit. Not too fast right now.
Bill will hold up his watch and shake it. Would if you take this one, would it make any difference?
Not really. That's yours.
All right.
Does that have a windmill power in it?
Yeah.
Sir. So, how much do we like Oslo as a character? Because I have an idea how to bring him back, but it's pretty fucked up.
I mean, I like him a lot. Charlie will have a potential issue with what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
I don't. So is he like dead, or like Amp can at least fix the body fully, but I don't know about resurrecting is not in my house of cards.
So waterlogged have ways of coming back from the dead. You guys have found that out in the past. You just don't know the mechanics. You don't know if there's things that stop it. You don't know if there's things that they need. You never really found out.
Bill sighs and asks, how fast can we get back to the flotilla?
It's good. Probably 50 miles. So how fast can we swim?
All right. I need...
Oh, can he not move through the shadows anymore? Does he need his clock to do that?
He kind of can, kind of can't. He has... Okay, so basically, Lug can no longer take anyone else with him, and his range is reduced.
Okay. Can he take a canteen of Oslo with him?
Probably, yeah.
Bill will ask Blue, I'm sorry, I've never been clear on your names except for Amber, Wait, no, that doesn't make sense, actually. They wear color-coded hats. Which color is Blue?
Resurrection.
Well, it's actually duplication power. But she has used it in the past to resurrect.
He'll ask Blue, can you put him back together from this?
Does he need to be in his shape? Because I struggle with that. I have to land all 6 shots perfectly, otherwise they kind of just turn into a meat pile. See, with the Vaqueros, I've practiced. I can do that with my eyes closed, but he's shaped weird.
I know a way we could help him, but Bill hands the canteen to Lug and says, the only person convenient to this location, or the only person we can get to with any amount of speed who could even conceivably know how these guys are put together is... just give the canteen to Avery and don't let me think about what I'm doing here.
Lug nods, steps back, falls backwards into a dark puddle of water, and disappears. He'll take a little while to get there. Speaking of, we're gonna cut to not Avery, Dumond. Dumond, the spirit of tomorrow. Spirit of tomorrow, right?
The spirit of the unknown.
Fuck! Every time.
0 for 40, baby.
0 out of 10. I will never get it. Okay, spirit of the unknown.
Unless I'm misremembering, the spirit of tomorrow was actually a thing. So
we made a joke about it once, and it's ruined me forever.
I think the best joke I made it was like you had it in the spirit of the right name.
Okay, so we're gonna cut to Dumont. The spirit of the unknown rises from the water.
Welcome back, loyal listeners.
And as you take stock of the flotilla, you immediately grasp that the raid is going on based on the sheer amount of artillery, fire, general mayhem, and chaos. And as
General quarters, fire the guns, full steam ahead!
As you give the order, as you're looking around, you're right next to a building. You recognize bats in the floor right next to you. And you recognize the man he's with.
I recognize bats, and I recognize who?
The Fringe Marquis.
Gotcha. Now, remind me, do I like bats? Is bats the one that I gave the life-changing adventure / plot?
Absolutely.
What is the situation between bats and the Fringe Marquis?
Well, you notice the Fringe Marquis has a sword drawn and Bats is kneeling.
Ah, excellent. In that case, I grab the nearest rope and swing down, sword between my teeth and pistol drawn, to challenge mine old enemy.
As you land, you notice the Fringe Marquis is just straight up not matching your energy. Like he's almost lackadaisical. He just has his little black book open in one hand, sword drawn in the other. As soon as he sees you, he kind of looks up, and you just hear kind of half-defeated sighs. He goes, "I'd say it's good to see you again, Dumond."
What ho, my old enemy! What villainy brings you here, then?
Don't you ever get tired of doing that?
No!
How many times have we done this, Dumont?
Many and many yet to come. Now stand and deliver.
That's exactly the point. Many to come, over and over the same.
Nothing could be finer.
It's
The greatest of adventures.
It's a change in wallpaper. It's a changing of the masks. Dumond, we are living as a fucking cliche.
And the finest of cliches, it is an inspiration for all those to come. Now, stand or flee. And Captain Dumond will flourish his sword.
The Fringe Marquis is going to look down to his book. He's going to see his portrait unconnected from any of the conflicts, and he's going to see your portrait burn itself into his book with you connected to him.
Captain Dumond will poke him a couple times with the tip of his sword. Hello? I gave you an ultimatum here. Come on.
The Fringe Marquis is going to ignore you. He's going to turn to Bats and go, I was wrong. You do have a connection here. He's going to close his book. He's going to look at you and go, Dumond, I swear to you, the cycle ends tonight. And
Yes. The proclamation of a villain. I've heard many times, and it never fails to stir my heart. Now flee, tail between your legs, to plot against me somewhere else.
he snaps his book closed, and two swords just appear in the back of your kneecaps, impaling you through the legs.
Alas! Treachery! And then I'll try and hit him with my sword.
Yeah, make a melee weapons check.
Uh,
You're only taking one killing to each leg.
do. Did I get like a sword or something as a prize from something somewhere? No, it was a new
Yeah,
rifle.
you got a
That's what
very
it was.
ornate sword from winning the duel with the other person relevant to this thing we were talking about.
Oh, cool.
Sir, not appearing in this game.
Sir, not appearing in this setting.
Yeah.
That slippery motherfucker.
10-sided dice. Start and stop. We've got 2 8s.
All right. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna do a just a straight thrust, and it is just effortlessly knocked aside by the Fringe Marquis. Bats is gonna scream "Dumond!" and he's gonna just lunge out. You watch the Fringe Marquis basically use your sword as leverage to kind of get himself off the ground and do a spinning kick into Bats' temple as he gets into range. You just see Bats get knocked about 20 feet through a concrete pillar. You kind of forgot that the Fringe Marquis was one of the greatest duelists in Old Avalon.
True, but nevertheless, good always triumphs. And Captain Dumond will reach behind him, grab both swords with one hand, and rip them out of his legs.
Alright. You get your movement back. The fight begins.
Excellent. And the fight begins.
Hey, so weird question.
Shoot.
Since Dumond's narrative power inserts him retroactively into stuff that he wasn't in, would he have candy from Sweet Tooth?
Seth, let me have one boss fight, please.
Yeah, you already ruined one boss fight, Seth.
Look, I had to ask.
Actually, you got a good boss fight out of poor Tom.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a hell of a time.
Captain Dumond will make a
So-
feint as... Oh, what? Yes?
In all
Is it not my turn?
seriousness, no, it is.
Okay.
Just something Captain Dumont would know about the Fringe Marquis. He has a weird sense of honor about him. He will not. he's always had access to the occult in some fashion, and has always been a very skilled duelist. He is known for handicapping himself to match his opponent's perceived strength. Any abilities you add, he will match in some way or another.
Excellent. A battle for the ages.
So he has the same sense of honor and propriety that the Predator does.
Kind of, yeah. You also remember from your limited interaction with bats, one of the things you learned about him is he has stages to his super strength. In his normal, if he's like upset, he doesn't have super strength. If he's failed a trauma check recently, he doesn't get access to any of his super strength. But bats can fight him as a normal dude, or he can engage his super strength. The risk is the Fringe Marquis might match bats. Bats is currently looking to you for leadership. He has his eyes on you. He will basically step it up to the level you ask him to.
Well, Captain Dumont, being the adventure hero that he is, will remember that the Fringe Marquis is one of the great duelists of his time, and will make a feint with his sword before pulling out Captain Dumont's sidearm, which at this stage looks like a handheld blunderbuss of some sort, and has a fork sticking out the end. And pull the trigger.
So, one thing to note is if you want to do a feint, that actually is a maneuver that you can do. It would involve doing multiple actions with lie, and the lie skill, which is under charm, and the weapon skill you want to use. So, if I remember,
I will say, feint is for melee, not for ranged.
I ignore that.
Okay.
Screw the rules on the DM.
Okay, just wanted to.
Basically, you can make it so the person uses the wrong defense for a certain thing, because they're going to think your role is something else. Like, he'll think he's protecting against a sword instead of the gun, and he's going to get a gobble dice on his block or attack.
Okay, so remind me how I do multiple actions.
Okay, so we're going to compare dice pools. If you look at lie plus charm versus your gun, which has the smaller dice pool?
The gun.
Okay, you're gonna do the gun because that's the smaller dice pool. You're gonna remove one dice, either hard dice if you have any, normal dice if you don't, and wiggle dice if that's all you got.
Okay, I remove a normal die.
Cool. You're gonna roll that. You're gonna look for 2 matches.
Okay, so this is going to be rolling 1d10. It's a 9. I have 5 9s.
Okay. Normal.
Because I've got 4 wiggle dice and 1 normal die in this with the lost normal die.
Okay. In the future, wiggle dice are usually only dedicated to whatever they're in, so you would normally only be able to use wiggle dice for the gun. However, we're going to burn the narrative point to ignore that rule.
Okay.
I want a narrative point.
Okay. So, Bats, since he doesn't have like any clear idea of what you're doing, he's just gonna like try and rush in with his normal bat and try and knock the Fringe Marquis prone.
Capital idea.
That's 2 9s on the feint. The Fringe Marquis goes for it would have been a very easy block and disarm with his sword, but he has to transition it to blocking your pistol round with his book instead.
The flurry of stolen silverware that is loaded into my blunderbuss pistol. That's just flavor, by the way. That's not like anything that goes to the rules.
No, I know. I'm just imagining how that looks. So, As the gunpowder burns and the silverware hits him, the Fringe Marquis rolls with the force and does a backward somersault flip over Bats' sweeping of his legs with his bat.
Excellent. If it's relevant, Captain Dumont's sidearm has go first, penetration +2, speeding bullet +2, and attack level +1.
You notice the book appears much more durable than it should be. The Fringe Marquis is a naturally pretty fast person, but that gunshot should have torn through a normal book like nothing else. It's possible you may need to get the book out of his hand.
Fork shot.
Fork shot. Yeah, sorry.
Remind me how depleted works.
You only have so much ammo before you have to reload.
It's basically like 1 per die, right?
Yeah, I'll DM you the conversion, and we can keep going.
Cool.
Okay.
So it looks like, for a moment, it looks perfectly like you managed to. You have the Fringe Marquis on the back foot, and as long as you keep up the attack, you won't get any actions. Until you notice just a thin red line down Bats' back, where, just mentally reconstructing it in your head, you see during like the flip he must have dragged the tip of his sword across his Bats' back. You realize that he's able to dodge. If he manages to successfully dodge, he gets to attack anyway.
Dastardly.
He just gets free attacks on a dodge.
Dastardly. So how far away from us is the Fringe Marquis now?
Only a couple of feet. He's still in melee.
Okay. I would like to call up to the spirit of the unknown and say, a couple crates of the good stuff, please and thank you. At which point, the crew, knowing what the good stuff is, will drop down several crates of baseballs.
Bats is gonna look at that, pick one up, and go, "What the fuck is this?"
Captain Dumont will motion for the Fringe Marquis to wait, just hang on a minute. Stab his sword into the ground, go over and say, now what I want you to do is you're going to toss this in the air and then you're going to hit it as hard as you can at that guy.
Just...
Let me demonstrate, and Captain Dumont will catch a falling baseball bat from the ship, toss one up, and whack it off into the distance.
Oh, like cricket.
Tom?
Yeah.
Get out of my head.
Yeah, that's where I belong.
Okay. Bats is gonna go, okay, got it. Do you want me to put some spice on this one?
Oh yeah! Spice it up!
Got it. Alright, Bats throws it up in the air. You see his sclera turn black for a second as you realize he may have had a horrifically different definition of spice than you did.
Great definition of
You
spice.
may want to roll a dodge or get out of the AoE.
Whoop, time to be somewhere else.
Make an athletics check to get out of dodge.
Dodge. Do-do-do-do-do. That'd be 3 2s.
Alright. You know what? A success is a success here. You just barely managed to jump out of a window. You get caught by one of your crew members from the edge of the Spirit of the Unknown as they haul you back on the ship, as you just see the side of the building explode outward as just the force of the impact blows out that half of the building, blows through the next 3 buildings.
That boy could have gone Major League if he didn't have so many psychological issues. You see, the only one they actually want you to have is domestic abuse.
Oof.
Jesus.
The concept of Major League Baseball is going to lose 1 willpower.
Does that mean
Yeah,
the Cubs
good.
lose the World
Deserves
Series
it.
again?
No, they actually win for once. It's directly correlated.
Oh.
It's actually really nice because that means baseball gains one.
For a moment, it seems like that was all that was needed. Until with a crack of lightning, you see the silhouette of the Fringe Marquis standing on the hilt of one of his swords floating in the air. And you just hear a whisper on the wind. Leviathans fire on 2 clicks below my position.
Guns! Fire on his position!
Okay, roll the ship guns for me.
Certainly. Let me find those. I spent a lot of points on these guns. Better be worth it. Okay, so we've got 6 dice to roll, plus... So I've got 10 dice on it, and then 1 die of spray. Remind me how that works.
So, spray lets you add a dice to the dice pool you're rolling, and then you can do... You don't need to take penalty dice for multiple actions. You can just take every set that's rolled.
Oh, great.
So roll 10 dice, I think.
No, roll 6 dice. Roll 4 dice. No,
Okay,
roll
so
6
you have
dice.
10 dice.
Yes, 4 of them are wiggle dice.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, so we'll go with... I got 4 wiggle dice on that. Well, I got a set of 3 5s by... No, let me just put this into the chat.
Okay.
So I got a set of 3 times 5. 3 times 5. I got a 9 and a 10, so we'll do... You know what? Screw it, we'll just do 5 10s.
And then could you write with that how much go first penetration and all that happy hoo-ha you have?
Yeah.
That'd
yeah,
probably
yeah.
just be good so that we can quickly reference it.
Yeah, let
Okay.
me just... Oh, I can't copy. I'll just take a screenshot.
How much penetration do they have, by the way?
2.
2?
3.
3, my bad.
3. Oh, very good.
Oh, right, I was thinking as a sidearm. My bad.
Okay. So, the guns point straight up at the Fringe Marquis as he leans forward and just has his flying swords propel him forward. He is just surfing the blade at high speeds. As the beams of... is it an arc or a beam?
Oh, you know what? Let's find out. It is a bunch of bolts this time.
Like crossbow bolts or lightning bolts?
Actually more like blaster bolts.
So as the balls of energy whiz past him weaving through the vast
did I lose
majority, the 5 10s, he just evades naturally. The 3 5s, however, one of the big guns charges up for a second. As he's about to get a slash in on Dumon's throat, the beam strikes him square in the arm and blasts him into the mast. You see the
That
hook
has
fall from his hand as his arm is too damaged to hold it at this point.
Excellent.
You see him smash the blade that he rode in on, and as it does, you see the shards hover in the air as about a dozen new blades form and begin swirling their way through the air at you.
Okay. And we are aware that had disintegrate and daze on it.
I did not know it had days. Disintegrate. Okay, yeah. His arm is now completely burned off.
Excellent.
Wait, how many attack levels did it have again?
How many what?
Attack levels did
2.
Plus,
Oh, I thought
plus 2.
thought it had more. Okay, his arm isn't disintegrated, but he still drops his book.
Blast it. All right, Captain Dumond will grab a hold of one of the many conveniently placed ropes around the ship and swing down from his position on the what's it called, where you've got the wheelhouse and whatnot. Anyway, the raised position near the back of the ship where you steer it from. He'll swing down, sword in one hand, gun in the other, rope in his teeth. Mix it up a little. And on his way down, attempts to fling his sword, or one of the swords, because of course there are swords everywhere on this ship. It's a climactic battle. Throw the sword at the book.
All right, make a coordination plus melee weapons roll for me to pin the book.
3 sevens.
All right, book is pinned. The sword embeds into it. Fringe Marquis has to withdraw his hand quickly as he gets back to his feet. He whips out his cold iron sword in preparation of the fight. As you're about to finish the swing, 4 massive artillery strikes begin tearing through the ship.
Okay.
One hits the
Do you
bow.
need-
What's up?
Do you need the ship's armor and whatnot?
Yes. I believe the Leviathans should still get through it with their artillery.
Probably.
Yeah, I'll pull it up right now. Wait, you know this. I don't know why I'm looking.
Yes. Yes, it does. Okay. So, with 3 Leviathans, only 3 shots, actually. Okay, so that's 3 shots at width 6. 1 goes for the ballast, 1 goes for the deck where the crew is floating out on, 1 goes for just hitting the side because it didn't roll that well. You see these massive kind of flaming mortar shells just hit the boat and detonate. I'm going to need an athletics check from Dumond as he tries to try and hold on to the rope and stick the landing.
2 nines.
2 nines?
2 nines.
All right, cool. You manage to go into a roll, evading a slash from the Fringe Marquis as he goes over your head. And then that gets us to just straight on combat. All right, make a roll for me. This is just you are even, like hand to hand.
Okay. Am I using just a melee roll, or am I able to use my pistol as the roll?
You are able to use your pistol as much as you like. This is just a standard combat round.
Excellent. In that case, Captain Dumond's sidearm, which he has swapped out in the intervening time for a futuristic, sleek black number he picked up on Pluto. It will make an ominous hum as he's sliding under the Fringe Marquis, and when he pulls the trigger. And I will roll. Crap, how many dice? 2 dice. That would be 5 tens.
All right. So the Fringe Marquis, you notice, is not evading this one. He is choosing to just take it to the face. You see him drive, as you slide under him, faster than your eye can even perceive. The sword digs into your chest just a hair's breadth away from your heart. We're going to use the Mark III stats for this, with a little bit of spice on it.
Wait, is this is this bat spice or?
Just a little bit of spice on there.
Uh-oh.
So that's gonna be about 14 killing to your torso.
Okay. I don't actually know what my hitboxes are.
So you should,
Do you have any
unless you
extra tough?
have, unless you have extra tough, you're gonna have 10 hitboxes to your torso, which means
Okay.
if you don't buy any off, this will overflow to your head, killing you.
How many do I normally have to my head?
4.
4.
And he dealt 14 killing.
Then I will buy one off.
Alright, that'll be 2 willpower to buy off 1 killing.
Downs.
I now have a turn for my crew, who have been ignored so far by the Fringe Marquis.
So they are currently in battle with a bunch of flying swords and getting obliterated by artillery. If you can stop his swords, your crew will be able to mob him. The question
Hey!
is... Yeah, what's up?
I'm just thinking.
Okay. While you're thinking, I'm just going to narrate what your pistol does to the Fringe Marquis.
Yes,
Since his
that's all I
attack
did.
went first, you managed to roll, stopping the blade from hitting your heart and killing you outright. So your aim goes off a little bit. That's a gobble dice on your attack for getting damaged. As the bolt tears through his fencing mask. It would have blown his head straight off, but instead it just turns into What's up?
Did I not post what my pistol is?
You did not.
No. Probably do that.
Whoops, I thought we swapped it out from the sleek black one from Pluto.
It's the same. It's just
That's the same stats.
Got it.
just
That's just flavor. Everything about Dumont is just flavor.
Yeah. No, this is still about right. Again,
Okay,
if anything seems inconsistent, that is also flavor on my part.
Gotcha.
This is just a gumbo. The bolt shears off part of his mask, and as you look down, you don't see a face in the gap. You see an empty space that, as you look into it, you realize extends far behind the dimensions of his mask, of his helmet even.
Your eyes are as empty as your soul, you humorless golem.
I said there would be an end to things, Dumont. As he,
There is never an end.
part of what he can do as an attack is he is going to give up his sword. And in doing so, he is going to do what is called a pin. You are going to be stuck on the ground until you can make a brawling check to break out.
Okay.
Did you manage to think of anything to stop his swords?
Can I shoot his swords out of the air?
You can shoot one at a time.
How many are there?
There are about 12.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, wait. I miscounted my rounds. You know who just got back up after hitting a home run?
Would it be Bats?
Bats does a flying jump kick to the French Marquis side.
Excellent. Ah, my good friend, you come in my hour of need.
Okay, so I thought baseballs were a lot more durable than they are. I was not properly warned.
My friend, if we make it out of this alive and intact, I will get you a baseball that can survive anything you throw it at.
That's really concern as a number of swords just move from your crew and start going to swarm bats.
Woo!
Your crew
sure
now gets
that's-
actions.
Fantastic. Alright, I need some input from my friends and allies. There's a Numa rifle on board this ship. Is it going to be any use at all against this guy?
I don't know the stats for it offhand, but I would be surprised if it was better than your sidearm.
Well, it's 5 dice, attack levels +4, penetration 3, speeding bullet 2.
Okay, could you post? Wait, 5 dice. E. Can you post the Numa rifle?
Yeah, I've got it here.
Where's the power making channel?
It's called character making now.
Oh.
I was an agent of chaos and changed it. Okay. I can't find it, but I did find Ruin Someone's Day. Oh, there's the Numa rifle. Okay, so it has 5 dice, attack +4, penetration 3, speeding bullet.
I want to point out your crew can fire it.
That's what I was thinking, yes.
Oh, okay.
But Dumont this turn is going to. How many crew do you have on the ship total again? Didn't it have a
Let me
max?
look. I think it's typically had either 4 or 5. I don't remember that.
Okay.
Max of 4, yes.
Okay. So your crew, getting it all together, some guys setting up a tripod, one acting as a spotter, one pulling the trigger. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Sam McGee is helping out, so you guys can roll 5 dice.
I almost forgot about Sam McGee.
That was just key.
No.
That's only if we're reviewing copyright.
Oh,
Right.
gotcha.
And we don't care about that much here. Also, I'm not sure the creation of Sam McGee is actually under copyright anymore, so.
We'll find out. Alright, so roll 5 dice to see if the Numa rifle hits the Fringe Marquis. He is both still horrifically dazed and knocked prone from...
3 6s.
Alright. That hits the same...
Prove I'm not kidding.
Alright, that hits the same arm that was damaged earlier by your gun.
Ooh.
So, yeah, no, that actually... He doesn't have all of the extra tough that his armor normally affords him. So with that resounding crack of the Numa rifle, as he gets up and begins moving, he is knocked back again as his arm is just torn off of his body. As it hits, you hear a hollow thump as you notice there's nothing inside the arm.
Ah! You are as empty as your words! Nothing to back them up now, have you?
Says a creature so lacking in substance they can't even keep the same face for more than 5 minutes.
And why would I want to? The very essences of life is change!
Bats is going to scream out, "Yeah, I can use some change! I can use some real fucking change right now!" As, 12 swords begin mobbing him. You need, Captain Dumont's going to need to make a brawling check to get out of the sword pinning him.
Okay. Okay. Will that be my action for the turn?
It will be. He basically, it's like a stun condition.
Gotcha. That would be 2 4s.
Alright, yeah, no, any success is good enough. With a yell, you rip the sword out. Oh, sorry, you're actually down 2 more willpower because the 2 stops your head from filling up and killing you. 2 more willpower lets you have 1 hitbox open in your torso so you can still move and do stuff. Sorry, that's
Gotcha.
not me. You rip the sword out of your chest. The cold iron feels weirdly dull and heavy in your arm. You feel a tingling moving up from your hand as if the limb is falling asleep.
Have a taste of your own medicine, villain! And yeah, I'm gonna then look like I'm gonna throw it at him and then just chuck it off the side of the ship.
He actually looks a little bit just horrifically offended by that, honestly.
With what face?
It's
Body language.
It's an implied, your body language.
Body language says a lot.
Don't
In this
even need
case, it
body
says,
language.
"How
You
dare
can just
you?"
tell.
So the Fringe Marquis is going to summon one of his inferior swords that he can just have on command.
And then I'm gonna shoot him.
Alright, I'll need a roll, and we'll see if this matches.
I accidentally closed out my dice roller, so
How dare.
that would be 5 9s.
Alright. Let me just check his body stat. He's gonna have penalties because he's missing a goddamn arm. And he's only gonna have. He is still gonna have his Wiggle Dice and Blade, but it's not gonna have any of the extras. So that's only going to be. He's all the way down from 8. He's down to 8 9s for this roll. So he does go first, and he's going to, again, he always goes for the heart. As his blade burrows into your chest, that's going to be 10 killing.
Unfortunate. I will burn 10 willpower.
That would be 20.
For killing, it's 2 willpower per point. That would be 20.
That's deeply unfortunate. With a last desperate gasp,
You can
Captain Dumont will pull him closer and say,
I'll see you again.
You can burn a base will to stay alive, but unconscious for a few rounds, if you want to.
I thought that was a great way to end.
No, that's it. Yeah, no, it is. Oh wait, I forgot. No, he has an ability that says all things that must. Yep. No, never mind. That's not an option with him. As he twists his blade, you feel your heart torn to shreds and still life draining from your torso.
Hang on, I've got... Because I thought there was... There's a power conflict here, definitely.
Oh, there is? Okay, of course.
Yeah, because this is not a narrative... I do not feel that this is a narratively satisfying conclusion to the story of Captain Dumont.
Okay.
Therefore, Captain Dumont can die. The Spirit of the Unknown cannot.
So, as a creature of incredible narrative weight, in your story as one of the key rivals to oppose Dumont, the Moriarty to your Sherlock, the foe of 1,000 battles, who else would kill Dumont, though?
That is a good question.
Though, if he's the Moriarty to Dumont Sherlock, doesn't he also need to die for it to be finalized?
Ooh. That's a good one. Alright,
Yeah,
is Dumont
he's
dying?
not dead yet. So I can burn base will to stay alive?
For a few rounds. If he attacks you again, though, it's gonna break.
Okay, I'll burn a base will.
I will also say you can just spend 2 base will and all of that damage is gone, because that would be the 20 willpower.
Oh, really?
And that would be you just... Yeah, so you can convert base will into just will.
Sorry, I forgot I never explained that
Oh,
to you.
okay.
Yeah, 1 base will equals 10 willpower.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'll just burn 2 base will, pull him close, and say,
Not enough sword.
and shoot him.
Yeah, okay. The shot rings out, a hole forms in his torso as his hand clasps your back. Wait, was it 5 9s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the original one was 5 9s.
Alright. He clasps your back, he's obviously not doing great himself. And he's going to go. You just hear him say, "How many times, Dumont? How many times do we have to keep doing this?"
Almost one more! And then I'll punch him in where his face would be.
His mask partially caves in as he falls over a little bit. You just see him going, "Not even Sisyphus took pleasure in his torment, yet here you are, a wound-up toy, marching along happily."
Captain Dumont will glance off into the distance and say, "And unfortunately, my friend, that's our cue. Exit stage left!" And hurl himself, along with the Fringe Marquis, off of the Spirit of the Unknown.
Oh, shit. Make an athletics check to see if you can grapple him. He's down an arm, so he's going to have significant penalties to any grapple checks.
2 10s?
Uh,
Am I going for width or height?
width would be what you need here.
3 8s.
Okay.
But I also rolled 2 10s.
Now let me check this. Okay, he wouldn't be able to use, but no, yeah, 3/8 would do it actually, because he can't use his blade skill for this. You grab him, and as you go to take him off, you hear him almost begging, "Dumond, please, please, just let this end."
Never.
You take him, and as lightning from the Leviathans strikes down around your ship, fires breaking out, buildings exploding, the memories of your thousands of encounters over ages gone whizzing past you as you both crash through the surface of the water. It hits you guys like concrete. You both die.
Cheers. The Adventures of Captain Dumond will return next week on HBO.
Hell yeah. I didn't know Captain Dumont was an HBO show. That's a pretty good budget for him.
Camera pans up to Bat's arm extended over the edge of the Spirit of the Unknown, a single tear falling.
Bring Captain Dumont back.
As it hits the surface of the water, the ripples spread out like rain. As another droplet hits it, we cut to the part of the town where the rain is picking up, wind howling as Xander goes to clock Avery across the face.
Good scene transition.
Well, I gotta get off. I was just gonna let you know.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry, Chris.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Keep doing the fights. It's great. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, see, it was but you moved your characters were here. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Sorry.
It's fine. Don't apologize. It's okay. Look, I'm the guy with the W from last week, all right? I
The guy
had
with
my
the
15.
Super W. That shit ripped.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
I got my 15 minutes last week, Sam. It's all right.
You sent that guy into fucking space. They'll never find his body.
Okay, look, it's all right. I got my 15 minutes last week. It's all right. I got like literally I'm okay. But I will see you next week.
I'll see you, Chris. Remember to get an experience point. I'll let you know if you get any more.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.
See ya. I feel really bad now. Chris didn't get a fucking scene. Oh well. Yeah. So Xander clocks Avery in the face. He's gonna make a brawling check. Called shot. He's gonna get 3 10s.
All right. Block or dodge.
Either works.
Okay.
Does one of those reduce damage if it doesn't match?
No. They're both avoidance skills.
Okay, I'm gonna spend 2 willpower for a dodge. That's under coordination, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see if I get. Oh, I got 2 5s.
That's not gonna do it. His fist is gonna connect with your head. Your head swims as you taste blood. While the metal is incredibly hard, it's still metal, but there's a lack of weight behind it, as if there's nothing actually beneath the surface. You're just gonna take 2 killing to the head, or sorry, 3 killing to the head.
Ouch.
And you're just gonna hear Xander half crying, half screaming. You know, it makes perfect fucking sense that you're not human. Because for the longest time, because, you know, I had to wonder why you were okay with, and then you see him freeze full on. Morale is low, the homies are wavering. he has hit a Disco Elysium thought he should not have had. And you see him trying to keep a thought down.
Oh. Avery notices this moment of weakness and will say to Xander, okay, he'll just say in as happy a voice as he can, "Oh, what's the matter, Xander? What's wrong? Are you having a moment of self-reflection?" And I'll roll persuasion on that.
Yeah, go for it.
I get 3-8.
He physically does not have the stability to break that. And it doesn't hit his ego-based immunity. He's gonna stop and go, "No, you know what? I don't have self-reflection. No, I am perfectly aware of everything about me. I have... It bothered me that I was fucking alone. And you know what really got under my skin? The fact that though you were just as bad as I was, it never seemed to fucking get to you. And it drove me fucking crazy. I did everything to try and figure out why. I went to your fucking classes. I read your fucking garbage books. Scary Bear was actually a good idea. He actually came close to helping. Love you, Barry. And you just hear this, "I love you, Xander." But you know what? It makes sense now. You were never human. So of course it wasn't something wrong with me. To answer your question, Seth, he tried to read it like a normal book.
Perfect.
He read it up and down.
So when he heard manga was read backwards, he started from the last page and read to the first.
Okay. Carry on.
You're not sure if there's an in to what he said there. I will let you know three things. One, just facts of this fight. One, you will not be able to kill Xander with broad damage. No matter what you do, he's just going to come back. Two, something you learned pretty early on, that if you break a person, you break their power. So if you can emotionally break Xander, his power might stop working and or kill him. 3, Xander's ego is so big that he's just not... You're not going to be able to put him down with direct attacks. He's been insulted, degraded, and disrespected for good reason for his entire life. If you're going to insult him, you either need to be oblique about it, or you need to get him to bring his guard down.
Alright. Seeing that, Avery will walk a little closer to him and say, "Go on, Xander, it can't be that bad. Everybody has to have a coping mechanism, right? What do you think your coping mechanism is?"
What
The entire time maintaining direct eye contact with him.
the fuck is this Psych 101 bullshit? What's a he's gonna pick you up, lift you over his head, one hand on your neck, one hand on your, pelvis, and he's gonna bring you down on his knee. Just full on drop you to a squatting knee drop.
Full on break the bat.
Yeah. His brawling, it's gonna be 4 killing to the back. Xander apparently doesn't know what a coping mechanism is.
Avery takes the killing, immediately gets back up. Doesn't care that his spine is broken. He's just standing. Can I burn a base will to take something from the new sheet?
Sure.
Avery burns a base will, and Xander watches as Avery's body just begins to knit back together. His skin rippling like water, as everything that just happened to him goes away. Alright, so I'm going to try to take Xander off guard here. Say, well, Xander, maybe I'm not a good point of comparison for you. Clearly, I always had these powers. I always was this way. I just never had any reason at all to show them in where we lived before.
Explains why you were such a shitty roommate.
I tried for a week. I really tried. I know you said you tried, but I tried for a week to actually talk with you. I slept outside because of how difficult it was to actually communicate with you.
You didn't fucking communicate! When I tried to communicate, I left a sock on my fucking door, right? You got mad and at like 3 in the goddamn morning said, hey, open up, I need to gunch. And I didn't know what the fuck that meant. Until you started just rapidly stirring Jell-O and screaming. It went on for 20 minutes. You didn't breathe.
Okay, wait, Sam. All right. Okay, I wasn't expecting you to bring the gunching into this. I need a moment. What? No, there was a guy when I was at that when I was on campus. Okay. Okay. Fuck. All right. Shit.
Do you want to turn this into a who was the worst roommate off?
Sure. Ariel will say, now you realize I only did that because literally the entire first month there was always a sock on the door and you would always get angry at me for going into that fucking room. I tried to do that to show you how rude it was.
Alright, now you've made your counterpoint. Give me an example of Xander being a bad roommate.
Alright, Avery will bring up that time where... Do you remember that literally the first day, the first goddamn day that we were together in that fucking dorm room? I went into the bathroom. Tub was just full of blood. I ran in screaming to see if you were okay. I thought you had gotten hurt. And you just looked at me and said, no, fuck nuts. I ate a steak in the bathroom. Who the fuck are you? What are you doing with your life?
I need you to make a persuasion roll.
Okay.
Give me 1 bonus dice.
That's another 3 8s.
Alright, you notice that the fucking waterlogged and golden boys have actually stopped fighting. The crack shots have stopped shooting at each other. They're all just watching this exchange.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, we're talking about how the room was in a bad condition? How about when I left for fucking spring break and I came back and you had converted the entire fucking apartment into a 1-to-1 stage? It was like fucking Pop-A-Lot. I went into my room and my mattress was gone, Avery. I didn't find it for 3 fucking weeks. I couldn't find you for 3 hours. I went into your closet, found you made a nest out of your fucking harem, Isekai, and you were fucking insensate. You weren't blinking. You were talking about felt and the drowned folk. I don't speak Welsh, Avery.
I don't know if I can do the same energy you're bringing, Sam. You are fucking defeating me. Okay, give me a second to reorient.
I need you to make a stability check.
Oh, fuck.
This is a trauma check.
Okay. I rolled a 6 and a 9.
So you lose half your willpower.
Sick. Round it up or down?
Down.
Okay.
Alright, we're in the lightning round. Tom, give me a retort and make your case.
At the end of the day, Xander, everything I did, every single time I overspread into that room, I did whatever the fuck I wanted in there, was in the hope that I would get you to willingly leave the room. I tried to get us split apart, but then when I went to campus, or I went to the fucking dorm leader every goddamn day saying, hey, can I switch roommates? I need to switch roommates. If your fucking dad hadn't spent a decade with that fucking scam, that stupid scandal he ran to force you into that college, we would never have had to have interacted with each other.
So Xander's going to auto-fail that stability check. He's going to lose half his willpower. He's going to go... He's not really going to have a defense against that. He's going to stop and go, You think I don't know you wanted me fucking gone? Do you remember that one time we both got invited to a party because they fucking felt bad for us? And I was actually having an okay time. And I met this girl, and we were actually having a decent time talking about philosophy until I accidentally pronounced Aristotle as Aristotle. And when I broke down crying, they made me leave for bringing down the vibe. And you know what? I could live with that. But when I was walking past the window outside, I heard them asking you, what a fucking loser, right? Man, how do you put up with that guy? And you just laughed and said, yeah. I wouldn't have done that shit to you.
Xander, do you think we've ever actually meaningfully communicated? Do you think that at one point we have ever had a meeting of the minds?
I thought we had a moment when I made Barry. Honestly, I made him because I thought sometimes your puppet shows looked cool. And I thought maybe if I had a puppet, if we couldn't get along, at least maybe our little guys could. We cut back to Scary Barry giving a Chivalry a hug with all 5 of his arms.
Chivalry is just trying to help Scary stand. And seeing that and hearing Xander say that something strange happens to Avery, for a moment, everything that's gone wrong with his appearance snaps back, and he looks exactly like a human again. Says, wait, really?
Yeah.
Then it snaps back to him being a monster. And he says, I have always hated you, Xander, since the instant we met.
He's gonna make a stability check. He's gonna fail. He's gonna hit 0 willpower. And what's gonna happen is he's gonna begin vomiting blood as the entirety of his body begins filling his cavity.
Please explain.
All of his meat was in the nth dimension. It is now coming into real space as he hits 0 willpower.
Oh, God.
So you hear the snapping of bone, Xander choking, he's crying tears of blood. Scary Barry catches fire.
Gary Barry Bell? Question mark?
Gary Barry didn't get to use his attack. Damn it.
Sorry. I got distracted by the roommate argument.
That's fair. This was very good.
He looks up at you pleading. He doesn't understand what's happening because he never learned how his power fucking works.
Avery looks down at him. For a moment again, he snaps back to human. And he rushes forward trying to... Screaming, wait, no, what the fuck? Before he can finish, he snaps back to the monster. His face melts back to that horrible way again. His skin gets even paler than it was. He's basically bone white now, and he looks like he had melted once. He's horrifying. I'm going to spend a base will to use another one of the powers from the other sheet.
Go for it.
Avery backpedals and makes direct eye contact with Xander and drowns him on land.
Yeah, he has no defense for that at this point.
That is... the entire area around floods with water. Xander takes...
So I'm going to be honest with you. He doesn't have skin or membranes right now. He's
That-
dead as soon as the salt water hits him.
Okay.
It's an incredibly painful way to die, as he sees as the salt hitting his raw nerves.
Avery smiles and looks to the waterlogged around him.
They have just finished absolutely slaughtering the Golden Boys. This scene.
All right, this is probably a good moment for it to happen, right?
Yeah.
Chivalry raises the sword. He raises Fraggle Rock, rising up from what remains of Scary Berry, and screams, rushes at Avery. Avery makes direct eye contact with him and just says, "Stop." Chivalry freezes in the air and falls to the ground. One of the waterlogged gives a piece of a golden boy to Avery, who takes a bite out of it. Chews it for a bit, spits it onto Chivalry. Looks him right in the eyes and says to him, "Give me a moment. Need to find it." "I don't think our relationship has been well defined enough. So," claps his hands together, rubs them like he's excited. And with a voice that echoes across all the buildings as strangely as it possibly can, like he's speaking hundreds of times louder than should be even possible for something to be. He says, "By thy chivalry be bound, the fool shall not know peace, and quest eternal for that which shall not be found. Thy will shall be unheeded, and thou shalt be crushed by a hand of thy own making. The fool is ever the folly." Avery claps his hands, and he and the waterlog disappear, phasing into the water around that he just created to kill Xander. Chivalry, in as much as they can, his eyes go glassy. He rises with his sword, fighting against someone who isn't there. He strikes true, and he falls over, his body dust before it hits the ground.
All right.
Avery and Chivalry are gone from this scene.
As Avery fades into the dark water, he hears an echoing voice all around him going, "Sorry, Mr. Wade, the terms of your employment are not yet concluded."
Oh,
Cut. We'll find out what that means in a minute. We cut to propulsion and repulsion. Bob, are you still awake?
Yeah, I'm good.
Awesome. All right. So repulsion's going. Okay. So in the central repository, that's where we're gonna find. That's where we're gonna find Lone Star. I know he's there based on the sword and dowsing rods. I can get you through the cloud. It's the central place in the flotilla. It's Sal Senior's main office and the main scavenging hub of the town. It's also currently just shrouded in a cloud of those iron dragons trying to break their way in. I'll be honest. I can get you through the iron dragons, but after that, I need you to get me through the crack shots.
All right.
When we get there, we're gonna need a story. What do you wanna? Should we say I'm a prisoner, or because we're gonna need to explain how we got through them.
Well, how high are the iron dragons flying? Can I fly low enough to?
It is just a hazy cloud of tiny, very fast iron slivers. Just move like they are anywhere from an inch above the water to miles in the sky. A tornado around this place.
Hmm. How fast do I need to be going to torpedo under the water and come up the other side?
Um, Not too fast. You can do that pretty easily. If you're worried about getting through the dragons, repulsion, like as long as you're nearby repulsion, they're not even going to attack you.
Oh, well, that's the story then. You are definitely bleeding enough where me capturing you is a believable story.
Okay. He kind of tears his clothes a little bit, spreads the blood around. His wounds are actually closed from the healing needle at this point, but he can make himself look more fucked up. He's gonna make a perform check to try and sell it, and we're gonna hold on to that until you guys get in there. So as you guys are going through the Iron Dragons, you just hear kind of the whir of magnetism as the dragons are just diverted around you like a stone in a stream, kind of. It gets so bad and so thick at one point you can't even see past them as they're whirring past you at hurricane-like force. And the second you breach the edge, you see these kind of like Tesla pillars set up around the main hub. Kind of looks like Gearboy tech. You're not really sure where they got it. It looks like it had just been finished being set up. It looks like there were still tools and several unfinished ones kind of burning out as they're being used. And immediately you have 3 crack shots trained on you.
Got a prisoner here.
What? Why are you taking prison? Just lay him down. Let us shoot him.
Nope, sorry, gotta go by. And I just fly right past them.
They're gonna start taking shots. I'm gonna need evasive maneuvers.
Okay.
He was too beautiful for this world.
He was too beautiful for this world.
Alright, taking multiple actions. 4 10s, 3 4s.
Alright, you managed to... You have 6 coordination, right?
Yeah.
Alright, you managed to avoid 2 of those shots easy. While you're flying, one of them catches you in the chest. That's going to deal 6 shock and killing to your torso.
What does the armor candy give me again?
5 hard dice of heavy armor.
I believe that still gets through it. Yep, it has penetration 3.
Did you take that, or did you actually take a candy? I didn't realize you had.
Well, the healing candy wore off, didn't it?
Probably.
The healing candy
Yeah.
was?
We've never actually really defined that.
It usually only lasts for like a scene.
Yeah.
Alright.
Although you have 10 of them, so you could just pop another one if you wanted. Well, 9, I guess now.
Alright. So if you have a healing candy, you're going to be fine. Hell, you could even say you gave Repulsion 1 and he could just be healing you right now. So you hear them go, follow them, and before they can even finish the sentence, one of the Tesla coils gives out, and you just hear the screams. They're torn to pieces by the encroaching cloud of iron dragons. As you burn your way in, a vault door kind of slams shut as you hear the rending and cutting of metal as they're trying to cut through the walls. You are now in the central repository.
All right. One, two, three.
Holy fuck!
Holy crap!
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
I actually got lightheaded from that.
As well you should. That was odd. That was
Repulsion has
incredible.
matched the hype. World Star! You both just begin sprinting and bursting through walls, kicking down doors.
I said Lone Star, Sam.
Yeah, Repulsion misheard you. As you're bursting through, Bill, let's use his full name, Silence Bill, the Gasoline Prophet, shows up.
What?
Oh, you know, Bill's full name. Silent Bill, the Gasoline Prophet.
Okay.
As he's huffing his gasoline from a jerry can, going, whoa, guys, the fuck's going on?
We're looking for Lone Star.
Who the fuck's Lone Star? Your sword immediately points to him.
Oh, hey, neat, cool.
His jerry can, you see a molten outline of the state of Texas before it explodes in a black smoke screen.
Neat.
Alright, what are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna pop a few shots into the smoke screen.
Alright. A few fireballs hit. You see Repulsion, his little Newton balls spinning around his arm, speed up really fast. He fires about 3 into the smoke. You see a fireball and Newton ball hit the armor. The rags Silent Dave was wearing burn away. As they hit metal, you see his helmet is on now. He just needed a moment to fully armor up. As the rags burn away, they form into a duster with apparently the flag of Puerto Rico, weirdly enough. You think he may have got his wires crossed there. As Lone Star is before you.
No, it makes sense. There's only one flag on the one star on the Puerto Rico flag.
Exactly. He's just gonna go, hello, David.
I've been looking forward to this.
It's your right. From what I gather, I have wronged you. But still, not going down quietly. As he kind of gets into an open-handed brawling stance.
I would have been very upset if you did.
Alright, come on. He stops for a second. Wait, what are you doing here? He's looking at Repulsion. He goes, long story. Fires a bolt at him. It just bounces right off.
Not helping, buddy, and I go in and hold shot to the head.
Alright. So, Repulsion's attack took 4 had 4 wiggle dice and some penetration. So that's gonna ding his defenses a little bit. Let me know what you rolled.
Oh, that was helping, buddy.
Hold shot, have enough, so... Oh, right, I have 4 wiggle dice. Six tens.
Okay. So you use a jet of flame, dart right up to him. Fist crashes right into his face, his mask, nails him, and the hexagons making up a good chunk of the armor. You feel your fist sink in a few inches, the resistance doubling, every micrometer as you see the force of the punch kind of ripple out from your fist, and then it's dissipated and stored. It seems to be stored in the surface of the armor. You can tell that your attack didn't even hit his heavy armor.
That is neat. Gotta say, the last time I saw this happen wasn't quite as cathartic when your face turned into cobs.
I feel like I'm missing some context. He grabs your arm and takes a light swipe at your torso.
What is light for him?
So, as always, they actually don't have as much reliable damage as a Mark III, weirdly enough. They only have 6 wiggle dice and 4 hard... Well, actually, it's 4 hard dice on the body. So, he's gonna have 10 tens. Or, sorry, 10 nines. 10 nines. 10 nines. Not 10 tens. Sorry. They don't get 10s on their hard dice because they train for center mass.
Yes. Not as reliable.
It's technically not, because the Mark IIIs have more dice. But, so what's going to happen is it's going to swipe your torso. It's immediately going to deal 13 killing damage. And then something's going to happen. You're going to notice that all of that stored energy that went into hitting him, it's like a stillness is going to collect all the way, rippling up to where the claws hit you, timed perfectly with the swipe. And you're going to feel a shaking in the wound. And what's going to happen is he's taken 10 gobble dice worth of damage storing this round. That's going to be 10 shock and killing doll hit locations when he hits you.
That's brisk, baby!
If you want to spend a base will to just stay alive, repulsion can totally just get you out and heal you.
Let me see. Yeah, I'll do that.
Alright. Repulsion's going to reach out his hand. You're going to feel some magnetism grip you as you just fly backwards into his arms as he uses a preset slingshot to just blast himself through 4 walls, and he begins running immediately. He's going to slam a white needle into you as you begin healing up. He's going to, okay, we need a plan!
I got one.
If it's a big move, I got one of those too. Do you want to try and hit him at the same time? For mine, we're going to need him to be in the same place for about 6 seconds.
How much of the flotilla will still be standing after yours?
I really haven't considered that.
Perfect.
Actually, wait. Does yours use energy? Because if so, mine can probably keep concentrated all into about 10 yards.
It's fire. Everything is fire.
Okay, so if I set up mine, you get him into mine and then hit it with yours, we can just concentrate all of that into a single ball.
Alright. I'm all for this plan. I was going to try and blackmail him to get us somewhere else. Because if not, it's probably lights out for everybody within, yes.
Okay, yeah, we do need to do it fast, though, because he will absolutely... He is way stronger than I thought he was.
Alright, let's go!
Cool. So he kicks up, bursts through 3 floors. It looks like this is a storage area. It's pretty large. He's gonna go, okay, he takes 2 of his Newton balls, spins them so fast, they become molten form a ring. He throws that on the ground. He's like, okay, that needs to charge up, but at the end of the... we just need to get him in there. And, yeah. You see a little grappling hook type thing hit the ceiling as Lone Star pulls himself up at great speed, begins just walking on the ceiling, like digging his feet into the marble of the ceiling, walking at you upside down.
I'm gonna crack a grin and just ignite every part of my body.
Honestly, what are you trying to do here?
Kill you. That's about it, really.
Fucking, he kicks down, does a flip as he lands. You see microfractures crack along the entire floor. Alright, fine. Just to drive it home, he's actually accidentally walking pretty close to where Repulsion set up the little magnetic circle. He's dead-eyed on you. If you make a lie check, you could probably shuffle your way over in a way he doesn't really pay attention to, and cause him to walk into the circle.
Hey, Bob, how much base will do you have?
7.
You could spend
The
a base
punch has
roll
been
to get
coming up a lot
bonus.
lately.
What's lie under again? It's not command, it's charm, right?
It is charm.
Yeah.
Burning a base will does give you a wiggle dice.
How much charm do you have?
2
Base
dice.
Y total. Do you have any Y? I'm guessing no.
No.
Okay. You can do base will 2 will get 4 dice. Chance at a 50-50 shot at 3 width.
Yeah, I'll spend another base roll. What the hell?
Alright. Once any success is good enough, you just kind of stumble a little bit, pretending you're still injured from having every cell in your body punched at once. And he kind of course corrects to keep going straight at you. At this point, Repulsion's little circle has burrowed into the ground a little bit, so it's not visible until you're pretty close to it. And it turns out Mark 7s have one critical weakness. They don't look down too good.
Well, just to keep his eyes on me, gonna put one hand up to him and one hand behind me, and I'm gonna start doing like an even amount of burst out of both. So one's facing him, one's behind me. And it's going to be white. And burning my hand.
Come now, really? You're just wasting everyone. He steps into the circle. Immediately 3 bands of molten iron. You see every light in this place begin to flicker as electricity kind of crackles around him. He goes, oh, I see.
Here we go. And just a humongous, like, 10-foot pillar of fire, like, 10-foot wide pillar of fire just erupts from his front hand while he slides back a little bit, and then the back hand compensates for it.
Alright. As this beam of pure thermal energy reaching absolute hot hits the rings, you see that they have already begun to spin in like 3 overlapping concentric rings at high speeds. The energy hits it and it's just drawn into the center. You see what is meant to be a beam attack obliterating someone is being focused and directed by these rings into a kiln. It looks as if this attack is doing its own damage, its own effects, as it seems to draw all of the magnetism and electricity into the area. You hear screaming as the energy reaching like in the center of this thing reaches levels that should not physically be possible. And fun fact about cold iron, it's called that because it loses its effects if it is hot and worked. This thing reaches a boiling point. You guys both see a bright flash. You feel repulsion tackle you and move as the ring's containment cell fails.
10 radius.
Yep, I figured. The next thing, as your eyes open again, the light swimming afterimages on your eyes, you feel consciousness fading. You just look out, and an entire half of the repository is just molten. You see the explosion was, you're not sure if Repulsion had a hand in this, but a solid several buildings have just been obliterated by the explosion, but it seems to have been directed away from you guys. Repulsion's little Newton balls have stopped swinging, and you feel yourself rapidly losing consciousness.
Gonna look at my hand, and all the way down to his elbows are second and third degree burns, and his gloves just disintegrate and turn to ash.
You feel your power fade. How many dice were in that pool, by the way, Bob?
The pool of
final
the attack?
flash. Yep.
10 hard dice.
Got it. How much damage did they do?
Plus 9 attack levels, plus 7 penetration, engulf burn.
Got it. So you lay there for a moment, content in your vengeance. You feel burning kind of settling into your core. As you look up, you notice the building is starting to collapse. You have no strength left in your limbs. As the building begins to collapse onto where you lay, you realize you're probably going to die. What does Propulsion think in these final moments, Bob?
Going to grab Repulsion, grab the hourglass, and smash it.
The hourglass fractures, and suddenly you are in a crowded living space, an empty noose hanging above a desk. Repulsion nowhere to be seen.
Well, fuck, that didn't work how I wanted it to. Damn it.
The hourglass runs out, you're back.
Oh, I'm back in the building?
Yeah. It only had a few seconds left in it, I'm sorry.
Well, I tried.
Repulsion, the rubble falls, Repulsion just fires 3 Newton balls. He's like, you tried what, buddy?
Yeah. Last-ditch effort to get out. Didn't work.
I mean, we still
Other
got
shit happened.
work to do here, man. Senior, and then you just see a claw spear through Repulsion's chest.
Absolute cockwaffle.
You look up, Lone Star has lost most of his armored plating. His arm is just gone. It looks like he was able to put a lot of the damage using the kinetic redistribution into one hit location. He pulls out from Repulsion's chest. He looks down at you. You see his mask begin to slow away, just as molten iron. It looks like he's burning alive in the suit, but he's not making any moves to remove it. He just looks down and goes, "What's up?"
I'm gonna roll over and put a healing candy in Repulsion's mouth before I get up.
All right.
I'm gonna pull out Johnny Switchblade's razor.
All right.
Let's fucking go. One last time, and I burn 5 base willpower.
One more time.
As you do that, you see the razor fade from your hand.
Well, that's upsetting.
It's not disappearing. It's you enter the black mindscape, the neon hellscape that Johnny inhabits, and you just see flashes of everything you've led up to this point. Your friend dying in the raid on the neighborhood, the burning hellscape that was Baz's hyperbolic time training for you, the brief moment of camaraderie you found with Repulsion, and you realize that you're not fucking done. And the Burning Man ability that purges debuffs and weaknesses goes off. You feel a familiar heat kick in as your wounds begin to heal closed, as your the heat that's been stored in you comes back to the surface, and your metabolism rushes back to superhuman levels. You have a flashback to the fire powers Bats tried to teach you in the hyperbolic time chamber, and him saying that they would need a very significant amount of trauma to reemerge.
Called it. I just mutter called it under my breath.
The heat aura seems to be intensifying what heat is already lingering in his armor. He's going to be called what? I need you to roll an attack for me.
Alright. So let's see. I still have 4 wiggle dice, but I lost the speeding bullet and the go first in my brawl.
Yeah. You're going to have some effects that I'll codify next session for you. Right now, they're kind of in that swimmy, super strong because they just got in and you don't know how to regulate it properly yet.
Six fives.
All right. So that's going to hit his arm that's gone. Which is good, because as you go to punch him, there is a gap in the armor where his arm used to be. Which means, now that you've hit this, he has no armor rating on that stump. So, in like a standard Wild West kind of fast draw thing, he's surprised, you're surprised, you both stand still for a minute. Thunder cracks from Leviathan artillery in the background as you both just go for it. And you see his claws stop an inch away from your face as your fist does a mean hook into his open stump. And you just see the blackening of his skin, veins of fire beneath. As with a scream, you just see him turn to ash and explode.
Fucking neat. I'm gonna fall on my back.
Your metabolism cuts out, you're going to pass out for a little bit.
Yep.
You and Repulsion are just going to both pass out for a little bit. Fortunately, the final flash has completely destroyed all of the iron dragons that were surrounding the repository.
Well, that's handy.
This is also the first time it might have come up. Does Bob gain any willpower?
Yes!
He did just complete his backstory.
And I mean in terms of when you kill a character, the book says you get their willpower.
So, fun
Oh, we
fact,
hadn't
Lone
been
Star
through
only had 4 willpower.
I see.
Bob get 4 willpower. And also, gain 6 willpower for just completing your backstory objective. Gain 2 experience as well. You're gonna need it for Cell Senior. That fight's still happening. Alright. That... update on the Vaqueros. I only agreed to it for that one situation. Seth. Okay. So, from there... Oh, I forgot it had Loopy. Vengeance counts. Okay, so... From there, we're going to get an update on the Vaqueros and Stonks. You currently see Stonks throwing out a metal wire, fucking Spider-Manning over a gap between the buildings and running along the edge of a little God, what's the architectural thing that the slat between buttresses?
Flying buttress?
Yeah, I think
Is that what you're
so.
looking for?
Yeah, he's running along one of those and doing a parkour slide as you see several. As you see White keeping pace with him, Yellow just full-on lightning dashing around. Amber is Spider-Manning by firing a bullet. The amber goo hits the surface. She spins her revolver barrel and just pulls herself forward at great speeds. All the while, he's dodging hits coming from long distance by Lilac and Red as they're just bending their bullets to hit him. It appears as if his little minion, who you find out is named Utah, he's just firing at all the rounds, hitting him, and dodging as many as he can. Orange is taking out the Mark IIIs on the ground. It seems Teal has actually taken over a Goliath.
Oh, yeah!
So they're just going to work down there. You see Stonks has touched several places, and wherever he touches, there's just scars emerging that are summoning those little crab guys. At first, it was going very good for the Vaqueros, but there are now actually possibly hundreds of crabs running around, just firing artillery shells at them. Stonks has taken several hits, but he is surprisingly tough. It's getting to the point where the Vaqueros are honestly just kind of getting overwhelmed. I will say, if Charlie would like to glass anything there, that's totally valid. Or if you would like to, let your teammates know so that they could maybe move over and help them out.
So I think, could we send Amp and Carronade there since they didn't need to be involved in the Xander scene?
Yeah. Okay. We'll move them over. That'll happen. Bob.
That'll have to be obviously next session.
Yeah, we'll bring that idea up. Because Chris isn't here to agree to it.
Yeah.
And then finally, on the Ironmonger thing. It appears the Metallurgist has altered his armor so that it automatically heals him. He is back up and running and fast. At first, what seemed to be an easy job for Jeremy and Animal becomes incredibly more difficult. Xylophone is able to just throw up barriers in less than a second, like literally at the speed of sound by hitting their xylophone. It's a mix of making barriers to block attacks, making barriers to knock people away with great force, like they just jut out of the ground and hit you in the torso and launch you. Animal can come back from that very easily. Jeremy cannot. And the barriers are making it so that Citizen Militia Cyborg's sniper fire, he can't get a clear shot on anything at this point.
Okay. I think I'd honestly, if other people are okay with this, kind of want to tell them to back off and regroup.
Seems reasonable to me.
Cyborg yells out, the electromagnetic interference in this area is spiking. Whatever they're doing, they're almost done.
Can I hit the, is that made of cold iron, the portal?
The
Wait,
fringes of
it is
are,
working.
yeah.
I have an idea.
Oh.
Would Shirley be aware of what has happened with the presiding silence?
Yes.
Charlie, can you write in glass to tell the stalker where Cyborg is so he comes to this situation?
I don't. Isn't he knocked out? Isn't Lug holding him?
The stalker's fine.
I don't think he's
I
that
thought Lug
fast, is
couldn't
he?
move with.
Oh, yeah.
Lug was holding him. He put him down to take the canteen.
Yeah, like he can't. Lug can't transfer when he's holding a stalker, probably.
That is correct.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, is the stalker fast? Like, I don't think he is, because he's got 50 miles to cross.
Yeah, but he's gonna fucking wall hack his way over here. He's a monster.
Yeah, I guess like I could just drop like arrow in front of him that says cyborg that way.
The second you do that, the stalker hits a button. The dimensional walls begin thinning and fraying. He steps
Also,
into the What's up?
I will importantly point at the portal, not cyborg.
You see the stalker step out immediately next to the portal going, "Where's Cyborg?" Everyone begins panicking immediately.
Hey, good idea, Tom.
Yeah, like he wasn't doing
Also,
anything.
Because I can do multiple actions really easily, and that probably took 2 dice. What are there inner workings of the portal that I can be glassing? Like stuff that I could hit that would either stop them or slow them down?
You have no idea how the hell this thing works.
Are
Is there any
there
sorry.
portions of it that look like wires that aren't made of cold iron?
No, this is a completely metallic structure that seems to be doing something to the air itself.
Okay. Are there portions of it that aren't cold iron?
The pedestal.
That might crack if it's glass, because glass isn't nearly as durable or as strong as iron. So I'll turn the pedestal to. Unless continue and we can see if there's better options.
Okay, so Metallurgist is panicking, but he succeeded on a tactics roll. He's going to stop for a second and go, on the other side of this portal, we're trying to open it to get to him.
I'm going to write he's lying in front of him since I have more dice left.
Okay, the Stalker's going to look at that. He's going to look at Metallurgist. He's going to look at that and go, well, I have to check. And he's going to use the portal device. The portal is going to open immediately.
Well, crap.
And you're just going to see what looks to be a Goliath unit plated in cold iron.
One more thing that I want to try.
What's up?
Because I should be able to get like 4 uses or 5 uses in one action. I want to ask Cayman while he's running if there's anything I can do to slow or stop his arrival because he's showing up. I assume this is the Ironmonger.
Yeah. He's gonna go, fuck. Cayman just starts screaming and running towards where the Ironmonger is. Like beeline.
I'm going to ask him while he's running if there's anything he wants me to do to compensate for his actions while he's dealing with that.
He can't think of anything. His mindset is not great.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, I'll hit the pedestal with my other one, and if that does anything. Probably
Alright, so
not.
hitting the pedestal does one thing. The Ironmonger is going to step out, break the pedestal because it's now glass, closing the portal, which is going to stop the Legion of Mark IIIs with cold iron behind him from coming over. But the Ironmonger is now here.
That's a step in the right direction, I guess. I mean, that's a pretty big thing that did.
Alright, and then finally, we're going to hit the... That's going to be like the last major story beat, so we're going to cut to Sweet Tooth and Verbal Kink's place. What question did you have about the contract?
Okay, where was it? I was talking with Tom about this. So the main thing I wanted to know is, I'm aware that Hughes buys and sells with his company the ownership of talents, and there are certain interested parties that he's done that with, and I just wanted to know what his intentions with those generally are, how he uses them, if that's fair.
Oh, he does nothing. Hughes is considered one of the most incompetent people to have ever lived. He has gotten where he is pretty much exclusively through luck. None of his business decisions have ever really made sense, if I'm being honest.
Brutal.
And looking at this contract, it looks like he was just an intermediary. The actual person who owns your contract is labeled as anonymous here.
See,
You would need to contact the Hughes Corporation directly to find out who actually owns the contract. I will say, there is a clause for 500 credits to just buy your contract outright. Zach is going to raise his hand and go, don't buy it yourself, though. If you buy it, that's your property, but due to the transitive property of slavery, the property that you own is thus owned by your master, so if you buy your contract, it's actually impossible for you to get free.
I see. Thank you.
Hey, no worries. I could buy it.
I can get back to you on if I want that to happen. I would like to.
Probably not gonna see you again until unless you want to. Well, actually, he's gonna look at Verbal King. He's gonna look at you and go, he's probably figured out this is a sham by now. But if you want to actually cater the Festival of Berries, we would be happy to have you. And if I buy your contract.
Is it the? I know it's. Is it the Goodberry Festival?
Yeah, it's hosted by Goodberry. Yeah.
So what are the requirements for that?
Well, I'm still setting it up right now. It's a ways off, but if you get on the ground level, I could definitely, I could work with you. I could figure out what you need, where you'd best be suited. You wouldn't be alone, obviously. This is a pretty big thing.
So I do want to nail this deal out. This would be a trade of me catering the Goodberry Festival for a purchase and release.
Yeah, I would purchase your contract. It wouldn't release the contract because that's not written in. The Crimsons don't really have exit conditions just built in easily for their contract. But I would buy you outright, and I would have to negotiate with either the Crimsons or more likely your previous owner for. I would have to see how they negotiated the contract, honestly.
I have a method of communication that's incredibly fast. I have some people that I would like to talk with about this. Could I contact you in a day or two about this?
So I'm going to be honest, I'm in a pretty militant area. It's going to be hard to... So, do you know Blackstone?
So I was from the slums, would I know that offhand?
It's the area between 5 Points and Green Meadows.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure this guy's one of the Reich, like 80% sure. %sure. Unfortunately, this isn't a decision I can make on the spot.
Hey, no worries. All right. At that point, Cobb comes in. Hey, Zed, we gotta go, man.
Oh,
95%. Wait, see that, Tom?
what?
Someone slipped up and called him Zed earlier, not Zed.
Fuck! Shit!
No, I didn't fucking hear that.
It's okay. I also was already pretty sure anyway.
Oh, when did I call him Zed? Fuck.
It was as he was like leaving, the barman said that. And honestly, that was barely metagaming because I was pretty sure when you said the name was Zach.
Damn it. Fucking incompetent.
I didn't fucking catch that. The bottom fell out of my stomach.
These hands.
Oh shit!
He's gonna go, Alright, looks like I'm out of time. We got an emergency. Good meeting you, Andrew. He reaches out a hand to shake.
Yeah, against my better judgment, I will shake his hand. I don't want him to know that I have an extreme dislike for him.
Cobb standing there, it doesn't really matter.
He shakes your hand.
No, actually, it does, because he
No
can't read
powers
my
in the
mind.
bar.
Yeah, actually, I don't think he can do anything with me.
Does Cobb recognize Sweet Tooth considering the crossover?
No, we met before then. But
So,
maybe.
yeah, I know what you mean. So Zed and Cobb walk out. Verbal King puts a hand up to keep there a little bit longer. He's gonna go, so, you didn't know who he was, right?
I had a really bad feeling about him.
Oh, thank God. One of him is already too much to fucking deal with.
He's, if I understand correctly, he's from the Reich.
Yes, he is the leader of the Reich.
Yes.
He is the big 88.
What? No, no, right.
Fuck. I've been trying to get them in here to influence them as much as I can to limit the amount of damage. I don't understand how they got the contract. I've been trying to find out for fucking
So,
months.
what is the consequence of them holding the Goodberry Festival?
It legitimizes them. And more importantly, it gives them an influx of money, which they desperately need right now. More importantly, every festival of berries triggers a massive gang war. If they win, if we don't get them out of 5 points either before or during the festival, we are never getting them out.
When's the festival?
It's in about a couple months. It's the exact date's not locked down yet. We're still checking the harvest, but between 3 and 5 months.
Yeah, I have a vested interest in not letting that happen.
I don't even think Roots particularly likes the Reich. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, you know some of their talents? Like they have their ways in.
I guess.
Cobb is a terrifying individual. I knowingly had a short bit of business with him.
Yeah.
I felt bad about it the whole time. I hated the guy, but I didn't have a real reason to say no. I didn't know he was in my head.
I will say, you make sure Zed's gone. There is something about Walter G. Hughes that I don't want him to know. So, the Hughes Corporation has shown up multiple times over a couple of years. But they're based in Market Street. That shouldn't be possible. That means they have existed for an inhuman amount of time. Quite frankly, an amount of time that is possibly longer than the entirety of the universe before the Awakening.
Interesting.
No corporation besides them has ever lasted even a fraction as long. So, something is up there. And more importantly, I've seen multiple references to Walter G. Hughes himself. Immortality is possible in Market Street.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been around through multiple market cycles, and non-consecutive ones at that. Something is up there.
Interesting.
I'd be very, very careful if I were you.
Thank you for the advice.
It's still under the 50 credits you can con out of the fucking Nazi, so that's fine with me.
Yeah, I was before I realized for sure who he was. I felt a little bit bad about that, but a little bit less now. If there's any information you have that you can give to me about maybe interfering with the festival, I would take that at
I
your
would not.
convenience.
There is no amount you can pay me to interfere with the festival.
Oh, but I'm saying to help us do that.
No, the bounty on that information is more than I think even the Reich can afford.
Understandable.
Alright.
I'll see you around, Andrew. And he gestures for a door that's appeared in the wall, taking you back to the warehouse.
Have a lovely day. And I'll head out.
Alright. That brings us to
Head on,
experience.
head out.
If Sweet Tooth is going back to the warehouse, there is one thing that could happen there, but it could also wait till next session.
Let's do next session. This is
Okay.
10 and Chris isn't here, so.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we're going to start with Sweet Tooth, because we're doing start and end with him.
Okay. Just just let it be known I have a scene I need to interject with when at the beginning of next session. Then when we start with Sweet Tooth.
Lovely.
Alright. Okay, we'll do experience. Everyone gets 1 for showing up.
Yeah.
Who we're not going to do most useful, because it's a split session, we all did useful things. Who had the best scene tonight?
That's a tough one.
I vote for Bob with that scream. I also just
The
like
stream was pretty good.
I would just
Honestly,
like propose his
I have to go
entire
for-
character.
I loved Bob's, don't get me wrong. Dumon's fight was so good.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh shit.
I want you to remember, Tom, that was tonight. Feels like so
Sam,
Fucking hour, though.
Can everybody just get 3 points tonight? This shit was really, really good.
works.
Okay.
I feel like 2 isn't enough because a lot's happened here.
Oh, no, I thought you meant okay, sorry, I misunderstood what you were saying. I'll give everyone an experience for this question, but we're only going to do 2 more questions instead of 3 then.
Okay.
So the 3 people who got big scenes all get an experience?
I'm just going to give it to everyone because Chris didn't have a chance.
Okay. Does that count for me? Because I feel like his scenes were not, amazing this time, comparatively.
No, take it.
Okay.
Okay, who had the funniest moment tonight? Or at least most interesting, if not funny.
It wasn't a whole lot of humor tonight.
Yeah, interesting works as well for this one. We're doing best bet, not most funny or most interesting, either or.
I'll go for most interesting. The ripping out of the switchblade was real good. I love that. That was a good moment.
Yeah, like Propulsion going through all of his options. A lot of very powerful character moments. I would also give another vote for Captain Dumont about... I'm very interested to see what the conversation between Dumont and the Fringe Marquis meant. And I'm also assuming that neither of them are actually dead.
We'll find out. Sorry, Derek. What did you
Unfortunately, it's either
I was just
both of them
laughing.
are dead or both of them are dead. I really like one of those options.
say? Okay, so who got the most votes?
Not having Chris is kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just.
messing with this whole thing.
Yeah, let's just.
Let's just do 2 for everyone.
Let's
and
just do
call it
2
a
for
session.
everyone this session, and I'll throw in an extra question or 2 next session.
Okay.
Sounds good.
That sounds
I mean,
good.
2 for everyone. 2 for everyone is also I think more than the number of points we usually get per session. So
Yeah, probably.
I think 2 for everyone. I don't want to sit here and argue against more points, but 2 for everyone is technically fine.
Yeah, it's.
Mhm.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, look how, Sam, we came up with this justification and then immediately just completely fucking ignored it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just nope, never fucking mind.
So what I'm assuming is going to happen here, Derek, is either Dumont comes back for a cool backstory reason, or a member of the crew steps up.
You are wrong and right on both of those.
I don't know how to interpret what you just said there.
I just have to tell you, I've loved getting to go on this experience with you of watching everyone else and not know how Demand works. I'm so glad I built that character with you.
It's been really fun. Yes.
Dumont is awesome. I also want to reread The Invisible Library now.
Also, did you guys see my post to Gimbal, buddy?
Yes.
Not yet.
No.
I
I
should
posted.
ask. Any final thoughts about the session before I end stream, or?
This session was like, I was loving this session. I didn't have a whole lot of interaction with it, but it was just like, it was like watching a movie because you got to see like a whole bunch of narrative knots come to their thing.
Everything that happened with Captain Dumond would have been perfect if it had happened before I left.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
What about a hell of a cliffhanger?
Yeah.
I tried to, but I wound up a few sessions short.
It's all good. It's all good.
I mean, there was a lot of sessions in between when you left and when the raid started.
Mm-hmm.
But also, Cremation of Sam Gee was on my, or Sam McGee, was on my Discover Weekly playlist, which I thought was funny, considering
That is a song?
return. Yeah.
There is a song about it.
It's a poem, so it must have been set to music.
Yeah. I was listening to that today and I was like, this sounds familiar. Oh!
By Seth Blair?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Congrats. I'm paying you back for all of the good songs you recommended.
Thank you.
Oh, Bob, I think you're muted.